Now, a coalition of consumer groups is urging national watchdogs and the European Commission to investigate budget airlines over what they claim are unfair hand luggage fees. And I'm joined now by Eoghan Corry, editor of TravelExtra.ie. Eoghan, this is close to my heart. I got a flight recently with a budget airline, and the cost of my bag was more than the cost of my flight. And it wasn't I wasn't, moving house. It wasn't an enormous bag. Tell me what's going on.
Quintessentially Irish as the clatter ring is the cabin bag charge. Ciara, happy Friday to you.
You too.
Yeah, this is a campaign. It's not actually anything coming on the legislative side, but it is going to be listened to by the legislators. All the consumer groups, and you've got to remember, we've got legal consumer people who enforce consumer law, but we also have consumer rights like the Consumer Association of Ireland, and a group of these across Europe have all got together and said, let's get this straight about cabin bags. It's a right. They would claim it's a right to bring a reasonable cabin bag on board, free of charge, and they want it in the law.
You're saying that this has nothing to do with legislation, but they're saying in 2014 the European Court of Justice ruled that the carriage of hand luggage cannot be subject to a surcharge provided it is reasonably sized. Are they correct in this? I do not know enough about the European law to know whether they are or not.
The devil is in the detail, reasonably sized. The airlines have all said that they give pretty generous cabin baggage allowance, and they're going to charge for more if you exceed that. And one by one, drip, 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 over the years, almost all of them have introduced charges, including, by the way, the low cost. Everyone says the low cost, which are basically, in our case, Ryanair. More than 60% of our traffic on and off the island is with one airline, but would also include EasyJet, Norwegian and Wizz across Europe. And one by one, they've all said, we're going to charge you if you have any sort of cabin baggage, because the only bit you get for free on Ryanair now is the size of a laptop or a handbag.
Okay. And so do we expect any changes to come from this? I believe Spain is looking at this with great interest.
Great interest in Spain, not only great interest, a big fine, €179 million fine across 5 different airlines, including Ryanair. And Ryanair are quite grumpy about that. I mean, Michael O'Leary's grumpy at the best of times, but he's very grumpy about this. He's going to appeal it to the European Court and expects to win. All the others are going as well, alongside in that case. But where we're looking at here, Ciara, and why the consumer groups have timed this, because timing is everything, is Europe is generally looking at a standardized cabin bag. It's going to be more or less the Ryanair size for and their Lingus side, because they both have similar sizes, and they want to standardise the cabin bag size. That means that all the aircraft from the different airlines are going to be configured to take a standardised bag. Now, what the consumer associations want is a little tail put at the end of that saying, and you cannot charge once it's beyond those dimensions. Until now, we haven't had defined dimensions. Every airline has had their own. Europe wants to bring them in. Isn't a huge amount of difference between them. If you go between Air France, Lufthansa, Ryanair, it's only about 5 centimetres. That's why this call is
cabin bags might be standardised, and watch this space about whether or not they'll be...
whether it's free or not.
All right, look, thank you for that, Eoghan. I do appreciate it. That is Eoghan Corry there, editor of TravelExtra.ie. Let us know what you think. I remember once, Shane, when I was a student going up to the gate, and they took my small little hold-all and said it was too heavy, and I took out all the clothes in it and put them on. I put on about 12 layers.
Oh, my son is an expert at wearing the layers and getting
I just put all the... now, bear in mind, I was about 25 and I hadn't been, so I did do that. But look, let us know your experiences of this, 08742